Good evening. All right. I've noticed recently, more so than ever, in my many years of experience, recently I've been teaching people with picking problems. And nobody knows this better than me. My picking technique, it's like a thorn in my fucking side, and it always has been. Basically, when you start out and, you know, so how do I hold the pick? Teachers are basically, we always say the same thing. Oh, just do whatever's comfortable. So, oh, my daughter just left her pick around here. Where is it? Aha! So, now, you'll see now I'm using the thumb pick. I'll explain that. But, so here's what happens. You say, do whatever's comfortable. So, basically nothing is comfortable. It's a piece of plastic. People never touched the guitar before. It just feels awkward, so they'll end up inevitably maybe grabbing it like this, kind of like a chicken beak or something. And that's... Now, keep in mind, you can make anything work. I mean, I could probably hold the pick like this, and if I practice enough, I'll probably be able to eventually play really fast like this. You know, you look at Marty Friedman or Pat Metheny, monster guitar players, and their pick hands just look like mongoloid abomination. I mean, Marty's like picking like, oh, I mean, I don't know, it looks like his wrist is about to snap off, but he makes it work. When I started picking, I did this. I actually did something what I think is similar to what he does. Instead of holding it at an angle like this, I came up and under, and I held it like this, and I think it came from when I first started palm muting. Because that is very comfortable for that. When you start to play scales, I just put my hand and wrist in a very weird spot. And I played like that for years. And, you know, I just been practicing these. And I would get it pretty fast, but it would always take so much warming up. And eventually, I looked at my Randy Rose poster, and I started looking at all my little magazines, and I noticed everybody else was like this. And I was like, you gotta be shitting me. So I started playing like this. And I think Randy was, the picture I had, he was kind of like this, which is not very comfortable for me. So I ended up with something like this, and picking like kind of weird shit. And I got a little better like that. Then I got into jazz, and I started, a friend of mine was studying with this guy, and he had some great advice. He just said, put your hand out, relaxed, put the pick in it, that's it. Of course, you can make minor adjustments, you know, get comfortable, but that's it. And he actually recommended picking with the arm, which was sacrilegious to us, because we were always taught to use our wrist. And that's a matter of preference, but I really took a liking to picking more with my arm. I don't believe I can play with this right now. You know what I mean? You look like Paul Gilbert and other guys. They pick strictly with the wrist, and they're absolutely smoking. That's up to you. But as far as holding the pick, now, later on I started using the thumb pick just because I wanted to do more stuff. I wanted to liberate these fingers without having to stick my pick in my mouth and all that type of shit. But I gotta say, using a thumb pick does one very useful thing, and then it kind of puts your hand in that position I just talked about, that comfortable position. You put the thumb pick on. Now you'll have to file it, you'll have to get used to what's comfortable for you. I file mine way down. There's very little pick left. And you know, I like to pick, I don't know, it's probably around 30 degrees, depending on where I am. And it's tricky because each string you've got different gauges of string, right? You know, so you've got these, the high strings are very thin and very tight feeling. And the low strings are much thicker. They have that winding on them, and they're looser. And not only that, but as you pick, your hand kind of changes positions. So there's a lot going on. And I had so many problems getting used to this. And all I can say, some of the exercises I would do would isolate each string individually. So I might do something, and it's pretty tedious and boring, but I might put the metronome on and just do stuff like this. And switch strings. I would put that pretty much as fast as I could go, comfortably, and just go each string. I'm doing the key of C right now, so what I'm doing is just, like on the first string, I would just take a 3 open string pattern, and I would treat it kind of like a workout. I might do 4 reps, then shift positions. And then I would do that on each string. And, you know, I spent a lot of time doing that. And that solves a lot of problems. First of all, it gets you used to each individual string, and you want to spend an equal amount of time on each string. It gets your hand accustomed to those weird slight little position changes, you know what I mean? We're talking like thousandths of an inch, you know, these string gauges and like these minor adjustments, but it makes a big difference, especially when you're playing like, you know, 16th note triplets at 120, 130, 16th notes at 200. It's a lot of notes. So those little shifts, those little minuscule changes in your wrist and your fingers and the angle of the pick, they make a huge difference. So you want to solve those problems. So again, I'll put the metronome on. That's like around 90 something. I don't know. You can't really see. And you might start really slow. Switch strings. And then so on and so forth. And then what you can do is start combining them. And all that was this. Then I go to the next string. Next string. And you can change positions for the positions. And you start kind of bebopping around, you know, you get into string skipping, and I wouldn't do that at this speed. Maybe. That's not bad. And there I was just doing pretty much the same thing, just skipping a string.